got into the radio business at the age of 16, and one day the boss brought me in. I couldn't make it to work on time on the weekends. I wanted to go to New York and have fun and come back within 24 hours to be on the air that morning in Baltimore. Well, that doesn't work. And the guy looked across from me. He says, "You know, you are arrogant." He says, you need some humility." He said, "I'm gonna give you some. You're fired." When I got tired of radio, I said, I want to go into records. And so the company I wanted to go with was CBS. And it was an exciting time to be in New York City. My primary responsibility was to the Jacksons, and Michael Jackson was by far the best all-around artist I ever worked with and that the world has ever seen. When he put on a show, he put on a show. I was at the top of the ladder in my career. Everything I wanted, I had achieved. And the first year I was there, making a lot of money, but there was something missing. And I knew there was something missing. It was something inside to say, you know, this is it. There's no more. You know, you can make as much money as you like, but you're still not going to be happy. One morning I woke up and I was trying to find some songs to send to an artist. Then I went back in and I turned the TV on, and in the background it was the 700 Club, and I heard someone talk about there's somebody out there that you're in the record business and you really don't have the peace that you thought you'd have making all the money, and you won't find any peace until Christ becomes the center of your life. And then that's when I got on my knees in front of my waterbed, and you know, I wasn't down on my luck. I wasn't begging for anything, but what I did need and what I was begging for was a relationship that I didn't know that I needed, and only God could give it to me. And when I found that relationship, everything in me changed. After I left CBS, after they didn't renew my contract, when I moved here to Chattanooga, before I got here, I needed some money to move. And that's when Jim Sattler said, "Hey, look, what are you going to do?" I said, "I don't know." He says, "Well, you want to work for me?" I said, "Doing what?" He says, "Well, I own a construction company." And so I said, "Oh, okay, yeah." So I'm thinking Jim knew I was a former vice president. Surely he's going to give me a job, you know, working a cushy office job. And he says, there's a trailer across from you, so you can walk to work since you don't have a car. He said, just be there at 8:30 the next day, and the guy is expecting you to be there. So he said, fill out the paperwork and you're good to go. I figured, okay, a trailer, paperwork. So I said, okay. So I went, and the guy walked into the trailer, and the guy said, "Oh, you're the one." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, there's a hard hat over in the corner. Pick it up. And you need to wear that at all times." And so I picked up the hard hat, and dirt fell out, man. And I thought, what am I doing here? You know, I used to laugh at guys, you know, working at hard hats and, you know, doing the construction or any job, blue collar job. So I was told what I was going to do, and I had to go and they gave me a post hole digger. I had to figure out what a post hole digger was. I didn't know what a post hole digger was, man. The guy told me to go in the trailer and pick up a post hole digger, and I said, "What?" So I went in the trailer and I said, "I don't know what a post hole digger. I don't see the post hole digger. There's no post hole digger in here." So I'm trying to find something that looks like it sounds, and I'm looking for a post with a hole in it. So he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." He said, "No wonder. Do they not have post hole diggers in New York?" And I said, "I know. I never handled a post hole digger." So he asked one of the other guys to show me what a post hole digger was. It was funny. It was comical. And I worked there for almost 6 months, from June until December. I was out there in all kinds of weather. But I learned a lot of humility, and I met a lot of people in the process, and the same people that I met out there are some of the same people that are my best friends today. God called me into the ministry, and so I decided to go and get my degree in seminary, and as a pastor, you know, it's a high calling, and the position that I hold at the church, it's higher than any president at any record company. It's a position higher than the president of the United States. because the one that I report to is the author of the universe, and I report directly to him. And all those other folks, they need people like me in their weakest hour to come alongside them and pray for them. And I know that God that they don't have a relationship with. Personally, I feel much higher in spirit and mentally than I ever did as an executive.
If this story inspired you, take the steps to change your life. The first step is always to say, Jesus, help me. Come On, Let's Go distributes hundreds of similar stories of lives changed by Jesus Christ. If you want to be part of this vision, go.